Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Shannon Lavenia here with my wonderful co-host, Lynn Allen Johnson. And we are very excited that you're here with us this afternoon for our Body Freedom Transformation Overview. And we are just going to have a great presentation today. And before we get started here, Lynn, why don't you just come on out and say hello to everybody?
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with Shannon and with all of you on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. And we have so much in store for you, so many exciting things to announce. We're fired up for the lives that we're changing, right along with our own, for being a part of this. So I'm excited to be here. Welcome, everybody. And I'm just going to give it back to Shannon because we got a lot to share.
Awesome. Well, we sure do. And we're going to cover a lot of information today. And you're going to be able to take this information and really understand how to reach your goals very, very quickly. How to release 12 to 15 pounds in the next 4 weeks, and how to get the results that you've been striving for, probably like Lynn and I, for years. And we found this way. We've had great success. We've helped a lot of other people have phenomenal results. You're going to get to hear from a few of them today. And with that, we're going to rock and roll. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And for some reason, my slides are not showing here. So let's see what's going to go on here. Here we go. Woohoo! So welcome to our Women's Body Freedom 4-Week Transformation. As I said, my name is Shannon Lavenia, and like many of you on the line, I had been a yo-yo dieter for years, since my teenage years. I was pretty skinny as a kid, started my first diet experience in high school, and graduated college rather plump, and started doing my yo-yoing from there. I have gained as much as 100 pounds, so I've been as much as 100 pounds overweight, and my normal weight for me is about 155, 160. I'm 5'9", and there you can see my wake-up call pictures right there on the left. There I am with my beautiful daughter. She was 1.5 at the time. And my mother-in-law's sister posted this picture on Facebook, and I looked at it and I thought, oh my goodness, first of all, I'm still wearing my maternity clothes 1.5 years after my daughter was born. I couldn't run, I couldn't keep up with her, and I found myself saying things like, slow down, and I wanted to be able to give her this amazing life where I was active and healthy and vital, and lived for a very long time, right, to experience a lot of her life. So that was my wake-up call picture. I was 265 pounds in that picture. And to date, I've lost 70 pounds. You can see there I am on the right, and on the right here with the before picture and the after picture. Just tremendous results. And what's most exciting for me is that I'm not dieting, right? I don't diet. My energy is incredible. I feel amazing. I had incredible results. I feel better than I ever did in my whole life, and I'm just, now at 40, I'm healthier than I've ever been. So very, very exciting to share how I've achieved this with you today and how you can get these results as well. With that, I'm going to bring Lynn out. Come on out, Lynn, and talk about your transformation.
Wow. And when I look at your picture, Shannon, of where you were and then see where you are now, I am just blown away by how absolutely beautiful you look and all you've accomplished. And I'm just so proud to be a part of this journey. And for me, my story is, it's the same, but it's also very different because I'm so much older than Shannon. And I am now going to be 67 this year. And I started this program when I was 64. I was actually one of the original beta testers for this. And I was so desperate. I was so desperate to have something in my life that worked because I had been a dieter since I was 13 years old. And we all know that being overweight is not good for your health, but it also isn't good for your mental health. And I remember way back then figuring out that my self-esteem was somehow based on the size of my hips. So I have struggled with this for 50 years, trying to get control of it. And I have done every diet known to man. And I've done the HCG where I stuck myself in the stomach with needles. Not once, but 3 different times I did that. I can't even believe I can't even believe I'm saying that. And I did the programs where they deliver the food to your house, the processed food, and I did the Weight Watchers, and of course I did Jenny Craig, and I did so many different things, from the cabbage soup to the Atkins to the Dexatrim. For anybody that's even close to my age on here, I know you remember Dexatrim. That's that pill that you take that makes you shake so bad that you know, if you do sleep at all, you get up at 2 a.m. and want to wash windows. It's that one. And so I have done everything. And at the end of every single diet, I would go on it and then I would go off it. And I would gain my weight back because I always went back to my normal eating. And this process has been the absolute biggest blessing of my life, because I have a new normal as a result of the total transformation that happened through this program that we're going to be sharing with all of you. So on the left is my before, on the right is my after, from a size 1X to a size 10, and I lost 10 inches off my waist, and I did that in 16 weeks. So I'm just pretty darn excited, happy to be here, and happy to share this amazing, amazing product line with each and every person that's here with it. So back to you, Shannon.
So inspiring, Lynn. I'm always so inspired by your story. And what I love about it, too, is it demonstrates to people that really this program works for anyone. All ages. I'm over 40, Lynn's over 60, all ethnicities, you know, men, women. We have had great results with people that have struggled their entire lives to lose weight. And the picture that you see here, this is actually, his name's Jeff Yates, and on the left, he actually worked for a nutritional company, and he was that overweight. So he was really struggling with his experience in his body, right? And we helped him to transform, and look at him here. I mean, just looks incredibly younger. The picture of perfect health, incredible results. Here we have a young lady who lost incredible amount of weight, 33 pounds in 6 weeks. I love Regina's story because she was told for years by physicians that she could not lose weight and that she had a medical condition and she was going to have to just accept being overweight for the rest of her life. And actually, she was able to transform her body this way, which is incredible. Now, before we get started, I really want you to kind of package up your experience with other weight loss programs and take them, package them up, and get them out of your head, right? So just get them out of your mind. Why do I say that? Because we are so different from anything you've ever experienced that I don't want you to think, oh, well, I've seen that or I've done that, because you haven't. And just like Lynn, I had done HCG, I had done Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, I had done all different kinds of programs, and I would have some results, but then I would gain all the weight back and gain it back faster, way faster than I ever lost it. So our program is based on not just helping you to release the weight, but helping you to keep it off for good, because our foundation isn't that weight loss is a cosmetic problem, which is how most diets treat it, is that this is just something cosmetic, you want to look better. We treat it as a cellular health issue. So starting with your cells and how healthy they are, we help to transform your body from the inside out. That's why when you look at this, Slenderiiz versus the competition, our average weight loss is 14.18 pounds in 30 days, which is more in total than any of these other programs in 12 to 18 months. That's why we get such incredible results, because we treat the cause of the problem, not the cosmetic outcome of the problem. So in this presentation, we're going to be using two terms. One is Slenderiiz, the other is Slenderiiz. Slenderiiz is our actual homeopathic drops that we'll be telling you about a little bit later, and Slenderiiz is our entire program. So just a little bit of word information there so that you don't get confused as we're going through this process. So Lynn, why don't you come on out and talk about why Slenderiiz works so much faster than all the other programs that are on the market today?
Sure, I'm happy to, and I'm excited to share this with you, because as I'm listening to you, Shannon, I'm thinking back to when I would go to my doctor, and my doctor would say, well, gee, Lynn, when you get older, your metabolism slows down. It's just the way it is. Your body's going to fatigue quicker, and, take a little walk. But basically, this is what it is. Never, ever, ever did she give me any hope that there was something that I could do. So getting on this program has so transformed me, and these are some of the bullets or the key points here about why this works, because it does approach the weight loss from every single angle. It controls your appetite. Cravings are everything, and for me, I've been a sugarholic my whole life. I've always gone for the sugar. At Easter time, I like the Peeps. I remember at Halloween stealing the candy out of my kids' baskets. It's terrible, when they were out there doing their pumpkins, I guess. But I liked sweets. This controls your appetite. It reduces your stress level. It just levels you out. And it promotes the burning of stored fat. And it's a homeopathic. So the doctors developed it. It's tested. It's natural. And it helps your body work normally, and that is the thing that's so key to me. So I just go ahead and move to the next slide, Shannon, because normal is what I never had before this. So here's my history, and I know so many of you that are with us today can relate to this. You go on a diet, right? You decide that's it, I want to get this weight off, so you go on a diet. Your metabolism then slows down. When your metabolism slows down, you stop losing weight, you get on the scale, it's not moving, you're storing fat, you go off your diet, and then you go back to normal eating. I always went back to normal because I didn't understand the concept that my normal was what was getting me in trouble to start with. And as soon as I went back to normal eating, I gained my weight back, and then I would go on a diet. And then the metabolism, and yo-yo, yo-yo, yo-yo for 50 years. And with this, the most amazing part of this to me is that I started on this program 3 years ago, and the homeopathic drops were in my body for 16 weeks, and it's now been 3 years, and I haven't gained the weight back because I now have a new normal. My body wants different foods for the very first time in my life, and I'm blessed. I'm excited. I'm fired up for what this has done for me and thousands of others. So Shannon, I'm going to give it back to you.
Lynn, and this is exactly why 2/3 of the people who lose weight on diets gain it back in a year. And 98% gain their weight back and more within 2 years. Isn't that a shocking statistic? 98% of people gain their weight back and more within 2 years. So it's no wonder we're doubtful about our ability to lose weight. It's no wonder that we're confused about how we can lose weight. It's no wonder that sometimes we even become apathetic and we just accept that we're going to be overweight for the rest of our lives, until we actually understand what's causing it. Now, why does this happen? Well, Lynn just went through the diet, metabolism, end of diet, normal eating, weight gain, right? And it's this slow metabolism. Well, the other aspect of that is that when we think we're making good decisions about our health because we're reading the shiny labels on the boxes, we think we're having this amazing or we think we're taking steps towards a healthy future by eating low fat or, sugar-free. And in reality, what we're doing is we're eating diet foods that are making us fat. Low fat, no fat, sugar-free, low carb foods, these can actually increase your weight gain. Well, why is that? Because if they're taking something healthy out, like fat, healthy fats, then they're putting something chemical and toxic in to fill up that product in the hopes of making it taste good to your taste buds, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be good inside your body. Artificial sweeteners can actually increase your appetite. Stored toxins actually decrease fat loss, and when you're breaking down these chemicals that are in these foods like BPA or artificial colors, artificial flavors, they're stored in your fat cells. And when you're releasing fat, all of those toxins are dumped into your system. Well, when that happens, your body, now here's the thing, your body is a perfect operating machine, technically. So your body will do things and has mechanisms to avoid things hurting your cells and your organs. So when toxins are dumped into your bloodstream, your brain actually triggers a mechanism that says, whoa, let's not release any more of that fat because that's putting more toxins into our system. So let's keep it there. What you would know that as in lay terms is a plateau, right? Where you lose a little weight and then for a week or two you can't even get it off, right? No matter what you do, exercise, diet, anything. Well, the reason for that is because you're releasing these toxins into your bloodstream. Vitamin and mineral deficiencies, which are very, very common. Over 90% of people in our society today eating conventional diets have vitamin and mineral deficiencies. That will decrease fat loss because your body, your cells are actually starving for a particular nutrient. That's why they say the United States is actually the most obese, starving nation in the world, because people are obese, but their cells are actually starving for nutrition, right? Because they're eating a bunch of processed junk. This will decrease fat loss, metabolism, and energy. I'm going to tell you the solution to that in a minute. So don't feel hopeless after this slide, right? But do, if you need to like run up and throw a bunch of stuff out of your pantry, by all means, right? or if you're eating some Progresso soup right now and you want to dump it down the sink, by all means do it. So what are the fundamentals of losing weight? Every diet is basically the same, right? So every restrictive diet, right? And it's pretty simplified. It's based on how much you eat, what you eat, and how much you burn. What's missing in almost every single, quote, diet program out there, advertised conventional diet program, is this number 2. It's the what you eat. So most of these programs try to give you replacements for junk food, right? So instead of eating Cheetos, here's the low-fat Cheetos, right? Instead of eating macaroni and cheese, here's the low-fat microwave macaroni and cheese, right? Well, what they're doing is they're actually increasing the problem. The third thing is how much you burn, and that means, you know, using more calories in a day than you consume in a day. So it would be like, how do you get your gas tank in your car to empty? You're going to drive more miles than you have gas in your car. Well, it's the same thing in our bodies. We want to use more calories than what we're consuming. So how do we handle this? How do we handle this? How much you eat, what you eat, how much you burn? Because if you try to do this on your own, it's really, really hard, right? If you try to calorie count or just, you know, eat salads every day without having something to control the cravings, it's really hard. Now, why do you get cravings? You get cravings because things like artificial sweeteners are coming out of your blood, out of your fat cells, dumping into your bloodstream, and they're triggering your brain to be hungry. So this is how we solve that: Slenderiiz and Accelerate. So Slenderiiz and Accelerate work hand in hand, like yin and yang, right? Slenderiiz is a homeopathic product. What homeopathy is just natural medicine. So homeopathy is designed to get your body back to homeostasis, or the state of balance. And when your body is in balance, then it does what it's naturally supposed to do, which is maintain your body weight, right? So people that are in homeostasis don't have excess weight on their body. So Slenderiiz is actually going to curb your appetite. It's going to reduce your cravings, so you're not going to be craving all kinds of things. And what's really cool about that is you can go to social events, like you can go to weddings and parties. Yesterday I was at a barbecue, and before, when I went to the barbecue and I saw like cakes and stuff, I would have been literally, I'm gonna make a confession here. I would go to birthday parties and I would be waiting for them to like cut the cake. And it would be all I could think about. Are they going to cut this cake? When are they going to cut this cake? Are they going to cut this cake? And then I would be watching how they would cut it, and I'd be like, oh, they're cutting the pieces so small. Now I'm going to have to get 2, but I'm going to have to wait for someone else to get their second because I don't want to be the only person getting my second, right?
I think we're related.
Some of this going through your head. But that was, you know, that was the thing where if I went out to dinner with my husband, I'd be like, oh man, I hope he feels like having dessert tonight because I don't want to order dessert because I know he'll think, why are you ordering dessert? So that type, I would have that type of thinking. Well, this actually stops it. Yesterday I went to the barbecue, and what was funny was I didn't even eat anything. I actually forgot to eat at the barbecue. I was so into talking with people. By the end of the barbecue, I said to my husband, I was like, I didn't even eat anything. So we had to stop and get some food for me on the way home. And this also flushes fat. And I'm not going to go into the science of it because literally you'll probably want to take an afternoon nap if I get all crazy into science with you. Accelerate, which is this other bottle over here, this is so cool because this is such a cool energy product. And people actually take the Accelerate by themselves. It has a high dose of B12, which is for fat metabolism and energy. It has biotin, which is for your hair, skin, and nails. So if you've ever been on diet programs where you've had like weak nails or your hair started, getting all dull and nasty, this will actually help with that. It's great for brain health. It optimizes your metabolism, gives you great energy. It supports digestion and liver function. And the other thing that's really cool about this is it helps to handle the effects of stress. And when I used to go on diets, my husband one time said to me, I was on a diet program, and apparently I was really, really cranky. He had another word for it, but I was really cranky. And he said, and we were in the car one day, and he goes, babe, I'm going to need a vacation from your diet. And I looked at him and I said, oh, have I been that bad? And he was like, oh, it's like a monster just invaded our house, And that's how diets used to make me be, With this, because the Accelerate has Ayurvedic, which is Indian herbal medicine, Ayurvedic herbs that reduce the effects of stress in your body, you actually feel really cool and calm. It's an easy program. You feel great, and it's just awesome. We support this with ensuring that you're getting good nutrition. Now, the bottom line is if you're overweight, I can't guarantee it. You'd have to go to a homeopathic or you'd have to go to a naturopath and have your vitamin levels, your blood vitamin levels tested, but you probably have nutritional deficiencies. And we don't want that to stop you from losing weight. We also don't want it to make you tired. We don't want it to make you cranky. We don't want you to feel weak. We want you to have great, amazing energy. So we want you to have the best possible nutrition for your cells. Now, if you're thinking, oh, shakes, I can't even believe she's bringing up shakes, right? Because if you've done, I did Slim Fast. If you're as old as me, Slim Fast was like a big hit in the late 80s, early 90s, right? Huge. I did Slim Fast multiple times. I did Dextrim. Lynn, in fact, Dextrim was something as college kids we did to stay up to study for our exams. I did the Dextrim. I've done it. I did all kinds of crazy shake diets and stuff. But this is different because this isn't about giving you just a shake. This is about giving you optimal nutrition for your cells. That's why it's called Pure Nourish. It's a perfect balance of vegetable-sourced protein, so cranberry, almond, and pea proteins, with prebiotics, with probiotics, and enzymes. We add to that the chocolate power boost, and that has branched-chain amino acids. Now, what is that good for? It's good for improving your energy, your stamina, your metabolism, brain health, digestive health, just incredible, incredible nutrition. So you should have this for one meal a day, one snack a day, right? So have it for breakfast or lunch, have it for a snack sometime during the day, and that's going to help to ensure that you're getting all of the vital nutrition to rapidly speed up your weight loss. This is low glycemic, no artificial colors or flavors. This is not a junk shake product that you would get at one of those, quote, health food stores. It's GMO-free, so no genetically modified organisms, soy-free, dairy-free, and gluten-free. So very low allergens. Now, what kind of results are people getting with this? Hold on to your seats, folks, because I know you've never seen this, where people are getting this type of results with eating real food, a lot of food, getting really good nutrition. When I did HCG, I shot myself up every day, but I also could only eat 500 calories of food, right, which is crazy. So with this, you're eating a ton of food, and the average weight loss of our clinical trial, women lost a half a pound a day, so that's about 15 pounds. Men lost 2/3 pound per day for the first 28 days. Now, your results may vary. Of course, if you're sitting on the couch eating Doritos every day, we can't guarantee these types of results. But if you're following our program, this is what you should reasonably expect. with no rebound weight gain. So in your first week, let's say you lost 5 pounds, what does that look like? Check this out. This is insane. This is a gigantic blob of fat, and this is the yellow fat, the adipose fat, right? The unhealthy fat that's on your bellies and on your rump and on your thighs. You know, this is all melting off. So when people say to me, you know, I've lost 5 pounds in a week, that's like literally going down a size. So just incredible the type of results that you can get with this program. So let's get into, you know, one of the questions that people ask me all the time is, am I going to have to do all kinds of crazy exercises? Am I going to have to get up and do an hour of exercise in the morning, an hour of exercise at night, blah, blah, blah? No. The bottom line is I'm not one of those people that's happy when I go to the gym, right? I have a lot of resistance about it. I go, but I don't go every day. And I have a 3-year-old, you know, so I don't necessarily get time to get to the gym every day. So I'm going to share with you some results that some of our folks have gotten. And the first person I want to start with is Lisa Cummings. Now, Lisa is such an amazing testimonial for our program here because in total, she's lost over 130 pounds. When this picture was taken, she was down 101 pounds in 7.5 months, completely transformed her body, and she's a paraplegic. So she's paralyzed from the chest down. And when you look at the picture on the left, Linda was actually she was considering doing gastric bypass surgery, which with her condition is very, very dangerous. Having any type of surgery, very dangerous for her. But she was so heavy that she couldn't get up and down out of her chair anymore. And she needed that to have freedom and mobility. So she actually started the Slenderiiz, went down 101 pounds in 7.5 months, and over 130 pounds to date. Just absolutely incredible. So if you can do as much exercise as Lisa can, then you're going to win with this program. I'm going to flip over to the guys. This program's just for women. But if you're, you know, if you've got a guy in your household that wants to lose weight too, I want you to know that this will work quickly for him as well. In fact, it'll probably work even faster for him. So just be prepared for that and a little evil eye as his, you know, scale's going down. But this is Ken Bailey. He went down 25 pounds in 5 weeks. Look at that. The whole belly's gone. And then this is Scott Schwartz. Sometimes when I show people this picture, they ask me if it's the same guy. And what's funny is he weighed just 4 pounds more than me when I got started. And yeah, it is the same guy. Just total transformation, down 70 pounds. Whitson Gardner went from a size 14, let's see, March, April, May, June. So 4 months from a size 14 down to a size 8. Incredible. Crystal, I love Crystal's picture because the picture on the side, obviously somebody just snapped it while she was standing there, right? So she's not posing for it, but you can see her belly there. And so many of us women have had that belly, right? And it's annoying because you get sweat under your bra, and there's like your belly's there. And when you sit down, you can't really close your legs all the way because the belly's there, and it's just annoying. You know, you feel the back fat and all that. So when you look at Crystal here, and then just after 12 weeks, 3 months, look at how hot and sexy she looks. I mean, she lost a tremendous amount of weight, and she's so bold wearing this little itty-bitty skinny tank top, which so many of us avoid, right? We avoid tank tops like the plague. And here she is wearing that, just looking fantastic. Nita, she lost 70 pounds using Slenderiiz. Again, she's gorgeous in the first picture, but you can just tell her confidence and everything she has. Here in the second picture, she's just looking fantastic. Tammy Cross, 85 pounds of fat released. These are incredible results. Tammy Crisp, I love her picture too, because here on the left, you know, she looks like, she kind of looks like you would walk in, she'd be sitting in a rocking chair, knitting an Afghan, you know, just the comfortable granny, doing her thing, you know, kind of passive in life. And then you look over on the right-hand side, down 40 pounds, and she's the hot grandma. You know, she's got her little fashionable skinny belt on, her beautiful dress, and you can just see the transformation that she's made in how she feels about herself. So those are the kind of results that you could expect here with this program. Now, what all these people have in common is they all tried and failed with other programs. You know, I did, Lynn did, the other ladies you're going to hear from today did. They had all yo-yoed with other diets, so they had all gone down and gone up, all gone down and gone up. They were all frustrated with losing weight. Some of them had even given up. They were all skeptical that Slenderiiz would work. I was skeptical. You know, when I got turned on to it, I said, you know what, don't hold out too much hope. I'll give it a try. But, you know, so if you're skeptical, hey, we understand. But the difference is they all committed to giving it a try for at least 30 days. And they all had incredible transformations with Slenderiiz and are thankful that they gave it a try. Now, why are we getting such amazing results with this? As I explained, you know, we focus on cellular health. So to us, being overweight isn't a cosmetic issue. It's not just something you see on the outside. It signifies that there's something going on the inside that we really need to help improve. And we do that with proper nutrition, proper nutritional support. And in this program, we give you 100% of the nutritional support, which is why you get really good results. There's 5 hidden causes of weight plateaus. 5 things that people come up against, like a brick wall, that will stop their results just dead in their tracks, right? So you might lose a little weight, and then all of a sudden you find you can't lose the rest of the weight. Well, what are those 5 things? Number 1, nutritional deficiencies. So your cells are actually starving for something that they need to maintain your health. 2 is toxin overload. Now, if you're somebody who's, you know, smoked cigarettes, drank a lot of coffee, drank a lot of diet soda, ate a lot of microwave meals, ate a lot of fast food, you most likely have a lot of toxins in your system. And it would be very difficult for you to lose weight in other programs, because you would be battling the effect of those toxins in your system while you were trying to lose weight. With our program, we handle that. So we're able to actually get the toxins out of your system using a product called RestoreX, which is just absolutely incredible, and that helps to handle that cause of the plateaus. Dehydration. So if you're not getting enough water, if you're drinking a lot of coffee and diet soda during the day instead of water, that dehydration has a major effect on your ability to lose weight. Insulin resistance. Insulin resistance, I would say, is one of the leading causes of being able, or of not being able to lose weight. You'll know if you have insulin resistance. There's, you know, a bunch of signs that you can go through, but a lot of times you'll have a lot of weight around your midsection, so right around your belly, and you find it's very hard to lose that weight around your belly. And you might also feel very, very sluggish in the mid-afternoon, so around 2, 3, 4 o'clock, like you just can't go on throughout the day. And there's all kinds of other symptoms of insulin resistance. And if you join us in this program, the Body Freedom Transformation, we're actually going to give you education every single week. And one of the educational webinars we do is on insulin resistance. So you'll understand what it is, what the causes are, and how to overcome it, right? How you can actually improve this challenge in your system. And another way that you would know if you have like insulin resistance is if your doctors talk to you about like pre-diabetes or metabolic disorder, that type of thing. The other thing is chemical additives in food. Unfortunately, so many of these diet programs will give you processed food products that have chemical additives, and those chemical additives can actually slow down your weight loss. So this program handles every single one of them. We are clinically proven, so we have clinical trials to back up everything that I'm telling you today on this webinar. This isn't something that we're just, you know, making up out of thin air. We've proven it over and over thousands of times. But in our clinical trial, we did 4 groups. We did Group A was the diet and the placebo. So placebo is fake Slenderiiz. They basically had just alcohol drops. And they did lose weight. They lost about a ½ pound a week. But they were very cranky, and after 4 weeks, they all gave up. So then that group was given the Slenderiiz and the Accelerate. They continued for another 4 weeks, right? So then they had a 50% increase in weight loss over Group A, and it was much, much easier for them. Their cravings subsided, they weren't cranky all the time, and they were having better results. Group C was the diet plus the Slenderiiz and Accelerate plus additional nutritional products. They lost 3 times more weight loss than Group A. Group D had the best results. They lost the most weight, they felt great, Their cravings were gone, and that group in particular was able to handle addictions that were very strong, like coffee, smoking, diet soda, and be able to eliminate those things out of their diet without any type of negative effect. So that's really, really cool. So what we do in our Body Freedom Transformation is we use the Clinical Pack program. And we use the Clinical Pack program because that's what gives everybody the best results. Why would we want you to even have 10% less results? We want you to have maximum results. We want you to have 3 times more weight loss, and we want you to have 100% success. So this is what the Clinical Pack looks like. It includes the Pure Nourish Natural, which is our protein powder. It includes the Power Boost. It includes the Slenderiiz and Accelerate drops. It includes our detox product, which handles the toxin overload. That's Restorex. It includes our energy product with super antioxidants. That's Rejuvenex. That keeps you healthy and energized through the program. It includes healthy fats. Our Omega Q has omega-3 oils, and it also has CoQ10. CoQ10 is what your cells use for energy. And if you want to read up about our Omega Q, you will be in awe because our fish oil is the purest form of fish oil that you can get from anywhere, and it's the only U.S. pharmacopoeia approved fish oil, and it's tested 100% pure. We also include our Optimal V, which is our vitamins. These are capsules. They absorb very, very quickly. It's a whole food-based product. And our Optimal M, which is our minerals. So like calcium, magnesium, potassium, phosphorus. We make sure that you have a complete balance of everything that you need in your body for optimal nutrition. Now, what are the benefits of losing this weight? What are the benefits of not losing it, because we don't want to find it again, right? Releasing it, like packaging it up and say, adios. What are the benefits? They're incredible. So when you lose fat, I mean, your whole body goes through a transformation, which is why we call this the Body Freedom Transformation, because you're free of the emotional baggage that comes from being overweight. You're free of the emotional baggage that comes from going up and down, right, and up and down. You're free from a lot of the health issues that come from being obese and overweight. And when you look at this chart, I mean, this is incredible. 57% of migraines resolved. Sleep apnea, 74 to 98% resolved. Being overweight is the #1 cause of sleep apnea. Now, people get those machines all the time, right? They got to be on those CPAP machines and stuff. Well, really what they need to do is lose weight, right? So we can do that. Asthma, 82% improved or resolved. Cardiovascular disease, 82% risk reduction. Hypertension, which is high blood pressure, 52 to 92% resolved. Right? Stress urinary incontinence, 44 to 80% resolved. Nobody wants to be peeing their pants, right? So we can help with that by taking a lot of the weight off of the bladder, which is stressing it out, right? Degenerative joint disease, of course your joints are going to hurt if you're carrying more weight. You can just know that if you put a bunch of rocks in a backpack and you put it on and walked around, you would know that it would be hard, right? Well, we're talking about taking that off. Gout, 77% resolved. Just absolutely incredible. And this is in general when you lose body fat. Not just that, let's consider the life aspects of losing weight. You're happier. You feel more comfortable in your own skin. You feel more in control of your life. You have sharper focus. And actually our Rejuvenex helps with mental fogginess. It helps to relieve mental fogginess and give you increased mental clarity, right? Who doesn't want that? You exercise easier. You increase your confidence, right? So you're going to have a lot more confidence. You can keep up with your kids, right? Or your grandkids. You can run around with them and play and show them a healthy lifestyle. You can sleep better. May even stop snoring, right? And sleep apnea. And you can stop fearing the dressing room, right? And in terms of job opportunities and career opportunities, there's a lot that you would be able to benefit from. Because if you're looking for a career and you go in for an interview, you know they're sizing you up. They're thinking, how many days are you going to be out sick? Are you going to have health issues? Are you going to have the energy to do 100% of what they expect from you? So this helps you in every area of your life. Not just that, you may be able to reduce your dependency on certain prescriptions. Now, I cannot guarantee that, and I am not making any health claims. I'm going to make a disclaimer here. The information I'm sharing with you today is not intended to diagnose, prevent, or cure any disease. Of course, you want to consult with your physician before undergoing any weight loss program, and definitely before you change any type of prescription medication. You want to talk to your doctor and see what's actually possible. And who knows, you may wow your doctor with your incredible results, which is always exciting. Okay, Lynn, I'm going to bring you back out here, and I'm going to get a sip of water. So if you could talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing in this program, that would be awesome.
That's perfect because I just had a sip of water. So there you go. So the first thing we're going to do is have you take before pictures and measurements. Then the interesting part about this is that most people don't want to do them. I know I didn't want to do it because when you're overweight and you're not feeling comfortable in your own skin, it's really difficult to, to look at your fat self and to turn sideways and take all your worst pictures. But the bottom line is we're not going to post these on Facebook. These are for you. These are for you to look at the difference in where you are to where you're going to be 4 to 8 to 12 weeks from now. And it's also so that you have a story that you can show, encourage, and inspire others. So that's what you're going to do with that. You're going to do your measurements because you don't want to be attached to the scale here. You want to look at how you feel in your clothes. And the scale has never been my friend. It's always been an issue for me. Every diet I've ever been on, if I worked really, really hard all week and then got on the scale and saw that I lost, an ounce and a half or a half a pound, it would always tick me off, and so I would start eating. Whereas if I got on the scale and I saw that I had lost 3 pounds, then I decided I needed a reward, so I would start eating. So I ate. Either way, the scale was not my friend. So when I started this and I realized that the measurements were what was important, I didn't pay attention to the scale other than when I started, but I could feel it within the first week. I knew it in my pants. I knew it immediately that something was different. So you want to take your pictures. You want to do your measurements. Then you're going to take your Slenderiiz, which is your homeopathic drop, 10 minutes before 3 meals a day. You just put it under your tongue. You hold it for 10 seconds. It tastes absolutely fine, no issue. And then you're going to take your Accelerate with your meals. You're going to take your supplements as they are prescribed, and you're going to eat real food. And I think that's the part of this that is so exciting for me, because I've had the prepackaged food that came in the mail. I was in my doctor's office just a few days ago getting my annual physical, which, by the way, 2 years in a row I got, oh my gosh, Lynn, your blood work looks great. I'll see you in a year. But on her wall, she's recommending a weight loss program, and it's packaged food that comes in the mail. And it's unbelievable to me because that's what I was conditioned to, and all my lean cuisines and my, my food that arrived in little portions that was just total garbage. We get to eat real food, and I just love that. So it's important to know that. You've got lots of choices, and you're going to drink plenty of clean water because the water is really important to flush the toxins out of your body. It says 150 calories a day. I started out that way maybe, but my cravings were gone and my appetite was so reduced from all of this that I probably ate closer to 1,000 calories a day, never felt hungry, always felt satisfied. And then, you can keep track of everything in MyFitnessPal, because I think it's really important to be accountable to yourself in exactly what you're putting in your body to go ahead and put it down. So here's what you're going to eat. There's your plate. You're going to eat from the approved food list. There's your veggies, there's your proteins, there's your fruit, some healthy fats. The mild exercise is all you need. And I'm going to confess to this. When I got on this as a beta tester, I did zero exercise. I did zero exercise for the entire time that I was on the drops. Not because I don't think exercise is important, because it is, but because I wanted to see if it would work without it, because so many people are challenged with knee issues, joint pain. I have friends that have MS that say they can't walk, or it's too much for them. And for me, I've done the Biggest Loser thing. I've been in a gym with a trainer working out 2.5 hours a day, sweating my butt off. I did it all. I wanted to see if this would work without exercise, and it did. I got exactly the results that I've shared with you, all without exercise. Now I exercise, I walk bridges. I feel better than I have in probably 40 years. So mild exercise is good. You could just go walking, but don't feel like you got to kill yourself with that. And
And I
Shannon,
appreciate that
go ahead.
too, Lynn, because when people are overweight and they are loaded up with toxins and they don't feel good, it's really hard to tell somebody to go to the gym when they barely have the energy to get up in the morning,
Exactly.
right?
And they don't want
And
to be seen in the gym either.
yeah, exactly. And really, the reason we don't prescribe a lot of exercise in the gym and stuff like that is because that puts a lot of stress on your body, on top of what your body is already experiencing with the toxins and being overweight and all of that. So with our program, if you just go walking, walk 20, 30 minutes a day around your neighborhood, that is plenty, if you even do that. So okay, so let's talk about the body freedom transformation and how you can start getting results. We are so focused on you getting maximum results. We do everything as a team. So the body freedom transformation is a team of 30 women. We come together once a week for a check-in call. We have coaching calls once a week, coaching webinars that take you through different lessons about your body and nutrition. So you're going to learn about cellular health. You're going to learn about insulin resistance. You're going to learn about food toxins. You're going to learn about body care products and toxins and how they can affect your weight gain. You'll learn about how your endocrine system works, right? Your hormones, all that. We've got all this education in place for you, and we've got a membership site with tons of recipes. The goal of this and why our women are having such incredible results is because you are accountable to other people, which keeps you motivated. It keeps you encouraged. It keeps you, you're supported by these other women. You're supported by your coaches. Lynn and I will be your coach for the next 4 weeks, helping you through the program. You'll benefit from the nutritional training. And our goal is not to say to you as your coach, it's not like I'm pointing my finger at you saying, don't eat that. Because that doesn't work, right? If someone tells me not to eat something, it makes me want to shove it in my mouth really fast, right?
Eat twice as much. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of a 3-year-old inside, right? I'm like, I'm going to show you. And but our goal isn't to do that. Our goal is to teach you why you wouldn't want these things and what they do to your body. And with that education and with that, you're really empowered, right? You're empowered to make healthy choices because you understand what is actually happening in your body when you put these foods in. And you'll be able to understand what really is healthy and what really isn't. Because unfortunately, with advertising and marketing, you can't always tell from the outside of the box. So we're going to help you with that. We also do a call every Thursday called the Healthy Body Call, which is conducted by physicians in our company that manufactures these nutritionals, and they come out and they talk about different aspects of your health. So you get this free medical education as well from a panel of different doctors and medical experts and nutritionists. So super, super cool, and you don't have to pay anything extra for that. It's all here for you. You're going to get the 2 experienced coaches plus physician support. You'll get the weekly check-in call. You'll get the weekly education webinar. You'll get access to our exclusive Facebook group where we share lots of motivational information. You get to connect with the other ladies in your team, and you get access to our exclusive membership site with tons of recipes and tips for success. Now, what types of results can you expect? Well, 1, you're going to speed up your transformation by 300%. You're going to have more energy, and you're going to improve your health. And the average weight loss is 13 to 15 pounds in just 28 days. And actually, we have people in our group now that have actually had faster results than that. They're at like 16, 20 pounds, and we're just topping off of our 3rd week here with the program. So what I'd like to do now is bring out 2 ladies that are currently in our Body Freedom Transformation group. To share their experience with you and what they've experienced. They're going to come out here and talk for a minute or 2 about what they're experiencing. And I'm so excited to bring them out because they're having such fantastic results here. So the first gal I'm going to bring out, her name is Shauna. And Shauna, come on out and share what you've experienced here with the Body Freedom Transformation.
Hi, Shannon. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. Hi. And thanks,
Hi.
ladies. I'm excited to be here. My name is Shauna, and I'm from California. I consider myself to be a pretty healthy person, but for some reason, I just couldn't get these last 10 to 20 pounds off, no matter what I tried. And so I started the Slenderiiz program to see if I can get back on track. And guess what? It's absolutely working. I can't believe how amazing the results have been. I've already lost 9.5 pounds in 3 weeks.
Woohoo!
That's fantastic. Woohoo, Shauna.
Thanks. So I did the math. That's just under half a pound a day. So that it's for real. I mean, I see it on the scale. And I'm getting more definition in my muscles, which is just awesome. And I think my biggest win is that I've completely gone off of coffee, diet soda, and artificial sweeteners. And those are things that I've been addicted to for years. I mean, years, probably like 2 decades. Yes, I'm that old. um, and I'm off it. I feel clean. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a good feeling now that I'm learning about what these toxins can do to your system, to your cells. So as a result, I'm feeling good. My energy's higher, and I guess I just want to summarize and say thank you, RX, for this great program, and thanks, ladies. I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Shauna. Feel it clean. I love that. That's how it feels. You feel clean when you put good food in your body. Thanks for sharing. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Shauna. Okay, Sharon, come on out.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you fantastic.
Okay, excellent. Well, I love this program. As you know, I was in another program for the last 18 months or so, and I did lose a little bit of weight in it in the beginning, but frankly, I've been stuck for over a year without losing any weight. And I had started to resign myself to being overweight. I love hearing Lynn's story because I so relate to her. I'm older than Lynn.
Yay!
And I am finally back on track. I'm losing pounds and inches with this program. And I didn't even realize the toxic overload from the other program and the effect it was having on me until I finally started clearing it out of my system. You know, I think of myself as eating fairly healthy. I'm massively allergic to MSG, and so I don't go out a lot. But on this other program, there was a ton of sucralose that I was taking in every single day, and I was just getting stucker and stucker. So when you shared in your coaching calls about toxins and how they are stored in the body and all the education that I've received from you, it was like, oh. And frankly, I thought I knew it all, and I didn't. I've been learning so much from this. So it's been about 3 weeks. I feel like a brand new me. I'm less and less hungry. I'm not drawn to toxic foods at all. I'm in the process of moving my household, which normally would be a great excuse for, I want a treat, or just wanting, just not being bothered with cooking, and that's just not happening here. It's like I've been a lifetime yo-yo dieter, and I'm surprised to see how much I've been learning here and sharing this experience with people like Shauna and people there are people who have lost a ton of weight and people who have given up huge things. I'm just so impressed with the level of just positive energy that's in this group that I wouldn't want to cheat or show up in any way less than my best. So having the clarity, the knowledge, the good nutrition, the support of the weekly check-ins, it's just made a huge difference for me. And I feel like this weight is going to come off for the last time in a natural way that isn't going to require an unsustainable amount of willpower to keep it going, because willpower just won't work. So Shannon and Lynn, both of you, thank you. And the group, thank you for, I'm just looking forward to being a mainstay of this until I get there.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Sharon. You're awesome.
Thanks for coming out, Sharon, and congratulations as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys, and congratulations to Shauna and Sharon. I'd love to bring even more people out today, but and we could bring all 30 ladies out, but we would be here for a long time. So I'm going to share a little bit more information with you, and I am going to tell you to hold on to your seat for this one, because this next information I'm going to share with you is going to be a little bit of a shocker and something you probably never even considered. What really is the cost, the financial cost of being overweight? We know the physical cost, we know the emotional cost, right? Because we feel that every day. But what's the financial cost of being overweight? Well, statistically proven, being obese may cost an additional $4,879 per year. So that's almost $500 a month. Well, where does that come from? Well, if you're overweight, you're paying an additional $1,400 to $2,700 a year in additional insurance premiums, co-pays, hospital stays, prescription drugs. Studies concluded that obese women are paid 1.5 to 15% less and miss more work, which averages out to be a loss of about $1,800 a year. We all know this one. Plus size clothing costs on average 10 to 15% more than regular size clothing. Plus, there's very few stores that you can actually shop at, right? Approximately 10 to 15% increase in auto fuel spending. That's a shocker. When I was putting this together, I had never even thought of that. And I went to my husband and I was like, can you believe this? And he goes, yeah, the heavier your car is, the more gas you burn. So if you're hauling around a heavy load, then you're burning more fuel, right? So that's exactly what's going on here. So when you go to the pump and you want to complain about the price of gas, just understand that you're going to be burning through that gas faster if you're carrying around extra pounds. An additional $111 to $436 per year on life insurance. I can attest to that because my life insurance went down substantially once I lost the weight. An additional 15 to 30% on grocery spending because you're consuming more, right? So that's a startling $407 per month in additional expenses. Now, I don't know about you, but I love saving money. I absolutely love it because I don't want to spend money on things like gas. I want to spend money on fun things like vacations and fun clothes and nice shoes and, you know, doing cool things with my daughter. So we're going to transform your body and save money. This is 3 times less than Weight Watchers, 5 times less than Nutrisystem, 6 times less than Jenny Craig. Now you might be thinking, well, Weight Watchers is like $14 or $30 a month or whatever it is. But when you go back and you think about the fact that you're losing 15 pounds in a month here, or 14.18 on average, versus 10 pounds in 12 months with Weight Watchers, that adds up, right? Plus it costs you time. So it costs you time and money. Here we're going to save money on groceries. You're going to save money because you're not going to be doing diets anymore. So you're not going to have to pay diet fees and all kinds of stuff like that. And you're going to reduce your costs on healthcare costs. So in our clinical trial, the average person saved $170 per month on their food bill. Isn't that cool? So Lynn, I'm going to pass it over to you so you can share with everybody how they can get started with the Body Freedom Transformation today.
Thank you, Shannon. And when I'm looking at the food bill, you know, I can attest to that because we spend so much on things that we thought were healthy, you know, these foods that we were getting. And when I teach this to people, I say, okay, they're buying packaged cereal, they're buying Pringles, they're buying Chips Ahoy. Everybody likes Chips Ahoy, right? And then they're buying lean cuisines because they think that's really healthy, or the Weight Watchers frozen dinners and all the processed food and everything. And so I know the savings involved with eating healthy, and we eat organic, and there's still savings compared to where we were. So having done all of those, I'm just fired up. I'm fired up that we get to eat real food, number one. Okay, and number two, I'm fired up at the price of this entire package. This is called our clinical pack. And the company has agreed that if you're part of the Body Freedom Transformation, that they're going to get this to you for $399.95, but also they're going to give you 30% off on all products that you're going to purchase within the next 30 days. So this is going to average approximately $100 a week, however you break it down. But some of your meals are included in here based on the shakes and how often you're going to use them. And we've got some of the coolest recipes, and it's just awesome. I can't tell you how great this program is. And there's 100% money back guarantee on the whole program. So go ahead and turn the slide, Shannon, if you will, because I want to talk about the success that people are having. So if you take me to the next one, here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask you if you're interested in joining us to go ahead and just fill out the form below the video. And you can reserve your spot that way, and you put your name and your number, and if somebody invited you, put that on there as well. But this is actually, it's Shannon's third round of going through a group, and it's my second. We're just completing our last group of 30 women, and the results that have happened in this have been so incredible. It's kind of like both of the ladies said today, it's no longer just about losing weight. It's about the education, about understanding for the first time what you're doing to your body when you're putting in food that shouldn't be there. And for me, for the very first time, I've learned that food is fuel. That's what its purpose is. It's no longer for social activities or when I'm depressed or when I'm happy. It is for fuel. And the education that I've got from this myself, even as one of the coaches, because Shannon is so incredibly brilliant, I've learned more things about, what I'm putting in my body and why. And that is the thing that's so exciting to me about this, because the people who are coming through the program are transformed forever, and they have a new normal. And that's what you want. This is not about just the diet. This is about taking care of your body from the inside out, because without our health, we don't have anything else. And I want to be this vibrant when I'm 90. And I want to share it with others, and so does Shannon. We want to take this to the world and educate people on what it takes to sustain your health. So if you're tired of yo-yo dieting, if you've done all of it, if you just want to take your power back and decide once and for all, you want to figure this out, you want to understand how to get through this, how to get this weight off, how to not have any more yo-yo and rebounding, you want to fill out the form and join us. This is, I can't even tell you how amazing it is. I'm blessed to be a part of it. Shannon and I love what we do, and the stories that you heard today are just the tip of the iceberg. We've had people crying on our calls, thanking us for what we've done in their lives and the changes that we've made, because a lot of it has to do with education. But the other side of it is, when you're putting the pure products in your body and you don't have cravings for the food you shouldn't be eating, your body is looking for what it actually needs, and that's when you're making your transformation. So fill out the form, join us. We're excited to have you. We have limited spots left. We're starting on August the 2nd, our next group. So anybody who is going to join, we have to have your clinical pack ordered by Monday, which is tomorrow, so that you have time to get the products in your hand so that you can be part of the group and start on the 2nd with us. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, ladies, and I'm just excited. And fill out the form if you're ready to change your life, if this is your time. So have a beautiful Sunday. God bless everyone. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.